G'day, welcome back. I'd especially like to welcome my new subscribers, and I hope you enjoy the content on my channel. If you missed part 8, got right at that time, of my tool and cutter grinder build, it's a link up there now. You can go watch that first, then come back and watch this one. Alright, let's wander over to the bench and we'll see what I've got to do to wrap this up, hopefully once and for all, over there, and the bench. Alrighty, so I mentioned at the end of the last video that I was going to kind of make a promise that I would try my hardest to get this finished this week, and there truly isn't all that much left to do. I've still got to machine this up and mark it up to put in underneath here. I did knock the side off that while you weren't looking, so all we really got to do is this, make the guards and everything for there, which will be a whole new thing for me. I've never worked with this PVC sheet before, but from what I see in other videos, it's not particularly hard to do. I'm still waiting for that special grease, well, the recommended grease for these angular contact bearings to arrive. Hopefully that'll be here the next day or so, and when that arrives I'll strip this down, get the bearings out, wash them out and re-grease them with that grease, and outside of that, got to drill and tap a few holes. And that's about it really. I can't think of anything else. I can't seem to find those oilers to put in here, so I'll go without them. And that's really about it. I really can't think of anything I haven't done. So anyway, I'll get on with that. I don't know what I'm going to do first. I'll have a little think about it and then I'll get started. Alrighty, so let's get the ball rolling by machining this thing up. I'm just going to face this off and then bore the inside out, and then I'll refit it in the chuck and turn the outside, then we're going over to the mill. I really should knock that back in a bit, but I think I'll just change over to my little carbide bar. Much better finish in there. Beautiful, that'll do me. Alrighty, I still haven't quite cleaned that face up yet, so I'll put a little pass across there with this thing. Still a bit there, but you bother chasing it now. Alrighty, so I'll get that off out of there and set it up to machine the outside. This has ended up too small for some reason, I don't know why. Only need one small section of this to be perfect. The rest of it doesn't matter. Right, I've got a section there that I can use. Alrighty, bloody compressor started again. Alrighty, so what I want to do now is, this is the side it has to go on. Or is it? Where are we? No, there, that side. Is that right? No, that's not right. I think I put that on the wrong side. No, it goes that way, that's why. Okay, so what I want to do is, like, find a good bit. I don't want to press it on there yet. But what I want to do is machine it out of the top here, so that this steps up the side, sits up against there, and then the rest of it can get machined off here, gone, not there. So we'll go over the mill and do that. Alrighty, so I don't really know how well this is going to go. We'll see how it goes. There's a little, I nicked the back jaw a while back, but put a little, cut in it. It's working in my favour at the moment. It's just nothing right in the middle. Alrighty, I think I might bring you back later because what I've got to do is mill it down 6.8 millimeters, which will take a while, and I don't want to take very deep feeds because I don't want this thing rocking and rolling, so I'll bring you back later. I've got to say that has taken forever. That 1/4 millimetre cuts to take 6.8 millimetres out of it. Unbelievable. Anyway, that's life. It was one of those better to be safe than sorry kind of things, you know, rather than rip into it with another tool and tear it out of there. Now, I'm not sure what I think, I'm going to need to run something along here and just take a bit more off that. Right, this side here, goes in there. No, I've actually probably gone a bit too far. No, that's about right. That's pretty bloody good where it is, to be honest with you. Alright, so I'm going to put a bit of Loctite on that and press it in there, and then we'll go over to the lathe once that's had a little while to set. But I'm going to go and sit down because I've been standing here for so long, it's not funny. Alrighty, so this has come up pretty good. That fitted on there really well. Didn't take too much pressing on, but it's nice and tight so it shouldn't come loose. This came up a little bit smaller in diameter than it bloody should have. I thought I made it a bit bigger, but they always shrink a bit when you cast them. But because of that, I'm going to have to knock these corners off here because I want to. That's a little flat from where I had it clamped in there. I need that gone because that's where I need to scribe it, right through the middle of that. So it doesn't matter if I knock these corners off. So we'll get in and we'll do that. Alrighty, that cleaned it up nicely, so we'll run with that. I'll just polish it up a little bit though before I go scribing it. All these bits here, there, and there will get milled off back down to the level of the flat that's behind it. Alright, so I'll get this all set up to scribe that and we'll get in and do that. Alright, so I've got it all set up here now. I usually use a sharpened up piece of tool steel, but I decided I'd turn this carbide tip tool with the tip that points straight out the centre and use that. I've marked the first line, which will be 0, so I'll go and mark 5 degrees on one side of it, up to a stop I've put down here. There's the stop. I should have marked 0, 10, 10 while I had it out there, but anyway, I'll do that again in a minute. Go back out here 5 degrees and mark that one. I don't know if this is going to be much better than the last lot because they are awfully close together. Alright, let's change this stop. Alrighty, okay, I reckon that is probably just about legible compared to what it was. Anyway, we'll work on that. Delivery come to the gate now. I like some things everywhere. Alright, so I'll get some paint into that, let it dry and tidy it up, see how it comes up. Alrighty, so they're not the best, that's not the best scale I've ever marked, but it's definitely more legible than the last one. Some of the lines are too bloody close together and whatever, but as far as I know, the angles required are not that, you know, it's not that important. 1 degree, 1.5 degrees, whatever. Close enough. Alright, so we'll go back over to the mill now and knock all these bits off. Alrighty, so that's come up pretty good. Other than a little minor mishap over at the saw, where I was trying to cut them off and it went, took a chunk out of there. But that's on the bottom, we don't see it anyway. So I think that's a whole lot better than it was. It's going to have to do. Alrighty, so let's get on with it. The best laid plans of mice and men. Now guess what? This bloody thing won't fit up in there. Idiot. Right. So I'm going to have to machine that off anyway. So this bit that I so carefully machined up the side here is going to have to come off anyway, down to about the top of those marks. So it looks like I'm putting it back in there and machining it off a bit. What an idiot. Oh well, that's life, isn't it? You know what I hate? I hate it when I have an epiphany a minute after I should have had it. I didn't need to machine this off here, I started to. All of a sudden I thought, what are you doing that for? You've got a 3mm end mill in the cupboard, just mill a 3mm slot in the damn thing, just clear that. So I could have just left all of it there, but that's still a lot more than I had before. So hopefully that'll do. I used a bit of cardboard on here so it wouldn't crush that, but it's left a heap of crap in the slots. Now I've got to try and get that out. Anyway, problem solved. Alrighty, so it's No Noise Sunday, so I thought I'd try to make no noise. This is that sheet I bought. It's 3mm thick PVC. Unfortunately, it's only 300, about a foot wide, and 600, 2 foot long. So I'm a little restricted as to what I can get out of it. So this is the first cover I want to make. That will go over there, go right across, completely cover the motor, come back across underneath here. Now, unfortunately, this template I've made up here, when you fold it out, it is 300 wide. So I end up with a gap under the side here, but I might be able to glue a piece or something in there. What you do, just come around the other side. Around this side I'll bring it down, fold the tab across so that I can physically bolt it to the, or just screw it to the top of here, fix it in, and I'll put a screw in up underneath to fix it up underneath there. Now, because this stuff is PVC, I'm assuming that I can use that blue glue that's used for gluing PVC pipes together. Now, it's not actually a glue, that stuff's a solvent, and what it does is it melts the PVC and bonds it together. So I'm hoping I'll be able to do that down these edges. If I have any issues with that, what I'll do is I'll cut a thin strip and just try and, well, maybe bend it 90 degrees and then glue it into the corners in here to hopefully hold it all together. But anyway, so I'll get back over to the other bench. There's no room over here. I'll do something about trying to cut up this PVC. I don't really know what the best way to go about that is, but we'll have a crack at it. Alrighty, so if this looks like it's on a bit of an odd angle, that's because it is. Anyway, but as you can see, that only just kind of fits on there, and because of the length of this, I can't turn it around this way. I probably could actually, but no, I'll go this way. Anyway, so I'll get that marked out on there and try and get it cut out. We'll see what, I don't know whether a snap blade will cut through it okay, or whether a sharp pair of something like these things will cut through it, I'm not sure. But anyway, I won't bother to video that, and when I figure it out I'll let you know. Alrighty, so cutting it with a snap knife and a straight edge was easy enough. Now let's try to bend it. This is, like I said, it's not something I've ever done before. We'll give it a go. Ah! That just snapped. Dirty bastard of a thing. Shit. Oh well, I'll have to maybe cut that off, and it seems to have welded itself back together. I don't know what's going on here. Got a plan, Stan. Well, this is not going so well, is it? Looks so easy when other people were doing it. Although that's starting to cool down enough there to hold it. It's not a good start, is it? And it's gone off cockeyed too, which is not bloody helpful. Too much again. God. Well, I've got to say, this is not going anywhere near as well as I was hoping it would. I watched a few other guys bending this stuff up and it all looked so damn easy. Well, that bend there didn't come up too bad. Pity about this. Anyway, let's have a crack at this one. Oh, like I said, it ain't going so well. That looks bloody awful, to be honest with you. Jeez, you don't have to put much pressure on that to make it snap. Now I'm starting to get the shits with it. Oh well, back to the drawing board, I think. Well, all is not lost. I went inside and edited the bit of video I made there before and got thinking, I wonder how this stuff goes with superglue. Just cut the panels out, glue them together. And believe you me, it's a piece of cake. I've added a piece in the side there where, mind you, I stuck it at the bench and had to cut it off. But generally speaking, it's just like this area here, all I did was put them where I wanted them, ran a bit of superglue along the edge, along that join there, and bingo, glued together. What I want to do, I did mention it before, to get some air into here, I bought this computer fan to put up on the side here to suck the hot air out of here, and I'll make it suck, not blow, so that it can draw air in from the front and suck it out and go on. And I've got this on-off switch here. I'll either mount it on the front or maybe perhaps on the top. Up the top might be better, I don't know. I'll see. Anyway, we'll get on with this and I'll finish this bit off, a little bit in the side here, and that'll finish that one off then, and that'll be good. Got to figure out how I'm going to cut this big hole in here yet. I don't think I've got anything really that big, but I think I've got a 60mm cutter actually, might be able to cut a hole with. Well, I got to say, the more I work with this stuff, the more I'm starting to like it. That's all finished now, more or less. I've got all the holes drilled in. I need to pull the base here off and drill and tap some holes in it for the cover and for that. Shit, what name is it? You know, the AC/DC converter. It's got this all fitted up. Really easy to cut a hole in there. So I'll just get this fitted up on here, and that bit there will be finished. And then I'll just about had enough for today. It's getting on towards beer o'clock. And tomorrow I'll make up the cover for the belt and work out how I'm going to sort of attach. Well, I can't join the two together because this slides off this way, and the other one will have to lift off this way. So they can't be joined together. Just a couple little screws or something to hold it in place. And look what I found while I was hunting around looking for some screws for here. Those little brass oilers I was looking for. So I can get two of them fitted up in there now. But I won't burden you with that. Alright, we're getting really bloody close now. Alrighty, so as you can see by this clip, it's actually pretty easy to cut this stuff. Only takes 2 or 3 swipes with a nice sharp snap blade to cut through it. Now, I said I was going to make this up today. I ended up making it up yesterday afternoon. This was a bit of a hassle actually. I ended up gluing this thing to my hairy old belly at one stage to rip it off. You can see here that I got a bit over enthusiastic with applying super glue. It was just running everywhere. But anyway, I thought I'd show you just how easy it is to attach a piece to this. So I'll just get this up in here. Which way's better? Which way fits best? I think that way does. Alrighty, so I'm just going to pinch it there and hope I don't glue my bloody hand to it. I'm going to put a little tiny bit there like that. Did it move, you dirty bastard? And that's there, that's glued to it. Alright, so I'm going to come down here and put another little dribble down here. Like that. Wait for it to set. Right, that's got that end. Come up here, position this, give it a squeeze together and get it in the right spot. A little dribble on there. Wait, it's run down there. That's how I glued myself up yesterday. You put a drop on it, it'd just run. Righto, that's now stuck. And we'll run some down here. And don't glue the bottle to it. Rightio. I have been occasionally just putting bits like this that could break off, just run a bit around the inside as well. Now this thing, like I said, I glued this up yesterday afternoon. It is really quite rigid. It's quite solid. I've discovered that, you know, where you get shitty joints here, you can file them. So I've been filing it this morning with my single cut file, bit of sandpaper afterwards, and Bob's your uncle. Righto, I'm going to make sure I don't glue that to the bench because I've glued the damn thing down a few times now. Now what I'm going to do now is I've also cut this piece out. Actually, let me move this camera for a second. Rightio, so I said before that this one would have to lift off. Well, it's not lifting off, and you can see here I glued it to there accidentally yesterday and broke a piece out of here, but managed to glue it all back in there without too much drama. So that one fits over there. So even with the belt on, well, I'll better swing this up like that, fit the belt up, and then swing it back down. And the plan is to put a couple of screws up into the steel plate here, through this section here and here, to hold that in place. Up there like that. Alrighty, and then another one down here into the aluminium to hold it there. So there'll be maybe 3 screws here, 1, 2, 3 in there, 1 in there. And I've cut this bit as a rear cover to go on there. Now I don't want to glue that on. I can't really. Well, I could, but then I wouldn't be able to access the belt and everything. So what I'm going to do is cut a couple of strips off, maybe even double it up, and then just glue tabs into here that I can put a screw into. So maybe one down here, another one up here somewhere, one there, maybe one down the bottom there. But I won't bother videoing that. Now, as far as videoing things goes, I'm going to stop videoing now. I'm just going to concentrate on finishing this thing, and the next time you see it, it'll be all done. Everything will be bolted where it has to be. It'll be all painted and ready to rock. At this point in the video, I'd like to thank my patrons. Their continued support is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to become a patron, there's a link down in the description. You can sign up there and drop me a couple of dollars every month. If you don't want to be a regular contributor, there's always buy me a coffee. Now, let's get back to the build. Alrighty, so it's been 3 days since I recorded anything. You know, it's just been at it all day, every day. And I did say I wouldn't bring you back until this was completely assembled and ready to rock. But I just thought I'd show you what I ended up doing here on the back. This is all a double layer, all glued in there. And like I said, you got to put the belt up, put this on, tip it up, put the belt on and tip it down, bolt it all up. And it's just some PK screws to hold it all on. And through the double layer of PVC that's in behind it. This has been a pretty slow process, all this, you know, painting and sand, undercoat it. Oh yeah, undercoat it, wait for it to dry. Bit of the sand, putty it up, sand it again, paint it. You know, it's just been a really slow process. Alrighty, so that's you know, it's pretty solid, this bloody thing. So I'm really pleased with how that came up in the end, and you'll see what I've done with the other side when I bring you back later when it's all finished. Alrighty, there it is. 9 weeks in the making, but. Man, was that some work? Looks nice, doesn't it? And does it work? Yes, it does! Rightio. This has really dragged on, this thing, and the risk of having people say, well, you're just milking it for all it's worth. I'm not going to try grinding anything with it this week because there is still one or two tiny little things I need to do. Where I put that scale on the side round here, I've got to make something up to line up the lines with, and I had to put it all together to see just where I could put that. But I can mount it up in here. I was thinking I'd have to put it on this thing, which would be stupid because every time you move that, it moves the line. But there is room to put something in here, so I'll come up with something for that in the next day or so, because I want to have a break from this. And next week we will try and grind some end mills and see how well it works, or if it works at all. So if you've been enjoying watching me build this thing, how about doing me a big favour and giving it a great big thumbs up and smashing that like, because you know it helps me out. Well, I want to thank you all for watching. If you've watched the whole 9 weeks worth, and especially thank you. And if you've watched all of every episode, I especially thank you, because the last episode, it was, one of the 27-minute episodes, the average watch time was 5 minutes, which is just ridiculous. Alrighty, so until next week when we see whether this was all worthwhile, thanks again, and I'll see you all next week. Bye bye.